The Philadelphia 76ers guard is done with Philly, claiming that Simmons intends to never play another game for the 76ers. Simmons struggled mightily in their playoff losses in the... fuck me. I messed that up. It's just not one of those days, is it, for me? It's just not one of those days. My voice is really tired. It's okay. Two-take Homer coming up. Adrian Wojnarowski reported this week that Ben Simmons is done with Philadelphia. He claimed that the Philadelphia 76ers guard never intends to play another game for the 76ers. Simmons struggled mightily last year in the playoffs, not being able to hit shots from the field in their loss to the Hawks, not being able to hit free throws at all, basically, throughout the playoffs. He was very inconsistent, and shooting for him has been a problem. He's been amongst some of the worst players shooting the ball in the league comparatively to how much he's on the court, and that is big when you're talking about the point guard position and the way that you're supposed to use the point guard, or the way that the point guards in the NBA are used these days. It is a big problem for the 76ers. And a lot of people in Philadelphia might be asking, well, what does this mean for Philadelphia? A lot of people who are Ben Simmons fans, and if you are, please let me know, might be asking why this is happening or what's next, and if this is the right decision. Let me address whether or not this is the right decision. For the 76ers, I truly believe this is the right decision. Moving on from Ben Simmons would not only hopefully lessen the cap number that you have and the amount of money you're spending on your contracts, and give you the potential to bring someone else in down the line who can actually help you win a title, but also you get rid of one of, honestly, the biggest crutches on your team, your point guard, who is great defensively, who can attack the paint, but whose offensive ability does not fit the way that your team is constructed and the way that your offense runs. The Philadelphia 76ers they're not going to win in the way that Ben Simmons' skills are set up. They are not built to win like that. Even Joel Embiid, who is a 7-foot center, is a type of guy who can hit shots on the perimeter. Ben Simmons cannot do it. He doesn't have the ability. The past few off seasons, they have tried. Ben Simmons has gone to different trainers. He's gone to different shooting camps. He's done it all. They have tried and tried again, offseason after offseason, and nothing has worked. Nothing has worked. His shooting skills have not gotten better, actually. Last year, they actually got worse. So the question is, really, what are the 76ers gaining from Ben Simmons? Yes, he's great defensively. Okay, you could have gone out and signed Dennis Schroeder if you wanted a good defensive player. Someone's going to steal the ball. At least Dennis Schroeder can shoot. And I'm not saying Ben Simmons doesn't have the ability, but we were saying for years, man, for years, the big thing about Ben Simmons, and I was one of those people for a very long time, was, well, Ben Simmons, when he's able to shoot, he's going to look very good. When he learns to shoot, when he gets more consistent in his shooting ability, he is going to be ruthless. He's going to be like LeBron. I was one of those people who actually believed that. And you know what? He's still young. He's 25. He's just a year older than me. That doesn't mean he can't. But we are 4 years into his career, and he is beginning to regress. And I'm not saying regress if you in the sense that, oh, well, you know, he's not doing well he didn't shoot before, right? A lot of people want to say, well, he didn't even shoot threes. Now he's attempting him at least. Yeah, look at his numbers from the playoffs, though. From the free throw line, he's regressing way more than honestly any player should. He started in his rookie year, in 2018, he was 70% from the free throw line. That went down in 2019 to 57%. And then last year in the playoffs, it went all the way down to 34%. He started missing shots in the fourth quarter. He was still making a lot of shots on the inside. But again, that's all he can provide offensively. And his points per game, they decreased in the playoffs dramatically as the farther they went in. And last year, he had a career low in points in the regular season. He is a great facilitator who honestly should be a great player, but he's not. And the difference between him being great as a player and him just being, a very good player is his lack of ability to shoot. There are a lot of things you can get away with in the NBA. Defense is one of them. In 2021, you don't really need to know how to play defense. That is the truth. Look at James Harden. He wrecked the league for the past 8 years. James Harden has been wrecking this league. And you know what? I don't think I've ever seen James Harden hustle on defense. I don't think I've ever seen James Harden really try on defense. There's a reason that trope exists. It's because he doesn't need to. Because in the NBA, what gets you over the hump, is your offense. That is what the game has been switching to. That's the direction it's been going for a long time. And we want to say, well, we're going towards more an offensive game. No, that time is here. The NBA is offensively driven. Yes, you still need great defensive players, but that doesn't mean that every player needs to be a defensive stud. And if you're asking me, Ben Simmons, for most of the time he's out there for the Philadelphia 76ers, he's a liability. Ben Simmons doesn't work on that team given the role that he has right now. Simmons, I think, could work on a plethora of other teams. He could work on the Blazers. He could work on if they didn't trade for Russell Westbrook, he could have worked on the Lakers. That's not happening now. But there were a bunch of places where Ben Simmons could have worked. And I genuinely believe that Ben Simmons can still salvage his career as a role player, as maybe a third on a championship team, because he can't be a second. He's just not consistent enough scoring. That is the God's honest truth. He is just not a consistent enough scorer, and he can't get it done. There are, like I said, there's a lot of things you can get away with. If you're not able to score, if you're not able to hit the three ball, it is not going to be fun. It's not going to be fun to play with you, and because your team is restricted. You're only going to get up to a certain level. That's why the 76ers have been, only getting to that certain level in the playoffs. The farthest they got was what? The conference championship. And they're just not going to get there as long as Ben Simmons is there. So if you're a 76ers fan, you should be happy. The only thing that's going to worry you if you're a 76ers fan is, what the hell are you going to get back? Like, seriously, what would the 76ers get back for Ben Simmons realistically? Because what team is really going to take it? There are teams that are going to take him to probably, eat cap or get some draft picks in return, but or cash compensation. But at the end of the day, he's even as a draft or even as a trade piece, he's a bit of a liability, because are there really going to be some contenders trying to trade for Ben Simmons? Thanks for watching this video from Real Take Sports Talk. Remember to like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so you get notified whenever a new video is released. Also, remember to check out our live show every single Thursday at 8 p.m. right here on the YouTube channel. And remember, keep it real.